In part 4 of chapter number 5, Magnetism and Matter of class 12th, we'll discuss some CBSE board questions. Question number 1 is, a magnetic dipole is situated in the direction of the magnetic field. If it is rotated by 180 degree, then what is the amount of work done? We know that work done by a dipole in rotating from theta 1 to theta 2 is given by the expression W is equal to mb cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2, where m is the dipole moment and b is the magnetic field. Here it is in the direction of the magnetic field, that is theta 1 is equal to 0 degree and theta 2 is equal to 180 degree. That is, it has to be rotated from 0 degree to 180 degree. Then work done will be given by mb cos 0 minus cos 180 degree. We know that cos 0 is equal to 1 and cos 180 is equal to minus 1. Hence, the work done is equal to twice of magnetic dipole moment into the magnetic field. Question number 2 is, a short bar magnet placed with its axis at 30 degree with an external field of 800 Gauss experiences a tau of 0.016 Newton meter. What is the magnetic moment of the magnet? We know that a bar magnet placed in a magnetic field experiences a tau, which is given by mb sin theta. Here the magnetic field is given in Gauss, which we have to convert it in Tesla, and 1 Gauss is equal to 10 raised to the power minus 4 Tesla. So the magnetic dipole moment is tau upon b sin theta. Substituting the values and simplifying, we get the answer to be 0.40 ampere meter square. B part is, what is the work done in moving it from most stable to most unstable position? The most stable position is when the dipole moment is parallel to the magnetic field. That is, theta 1 is equal to 0 degree and it is rotated from theta 1 to theta 2, which is the most unstable position. That is, theta 2 is 180 degree. The angle between the magnetic dipole moment and the magnetic field is 180 degree. The expression of work done is given by mb cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Substituting the values, we get the answer to be 0.064 joules. C part is, the bar magnet is replaced by a solenoid of cross-sectional area 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter square and the number of turns are 1000, but of the same magnetic moment. Determine the current flowing through the solenoid. We also know that the magnetic dipole moment is given by NIA, the number of turns into the current into the cross-sectional area. So from here, I is equal to magnetic dipole moment upon N into A. The same dipole moment, that is 0.40 ampere meter square, and the number of turns given over here are 1000 and the cross-sectional area given here is 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter square. So on simplifying, we get the answer to be 2 amperes. Question number 3 is, what is the magnitude of the equatorial and axial fields due to a bar magnet of length 5 centimeter at a distance 50 centimeter from its midpoint? The magnetic moment of the bar magnet is 0.40 ampere meter square. Okay, now here the length of the bar magnet is 5 centimeter and we have to find out at a distance 50 centimeter from its midpoint. So this dipole will consider it to be a short dipole. And for a short dipole, we know that the magnetic field on the equatorial line is given by mu naught upon 4 pi m upon r cube. Here m is given as the dipole moment 0.40 ampere meter square, whereas the distance from the midpoint r is given as 50 centimeter, which is equal to 50 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 meter. Substituting the values and simplifying, we get the answer to be 3.2 into 10 raised to the power minus 7 Tesla. And on the equatorial line, the magnetic field is opposite to the dipole moment. That is, it is from north to south pole. On the axial line, the magnetic field due to a short dipole is given by mu naught upon 4 pi 2 m upon r cube. So it will be double of this, that is 6.4 into 10 raised to the power minus 7 Tesla, and the direction will be along the dipole moment. That is from south to north pole. Question number 4. Why do magnetic lines of force prefer to pass through iron than air? Because the magnetic permeability of iron is greater than that of air. Magnetic permeability is defined as the extent to which the magnetic field lines can pass through a specimen. So more magnetic field lines can pass through iron as compared to air because its permeability is more. Question number 5 is calculate the angle of dip at a place where horizontal and vertical components of the Earth's field are equal. So given here that horizontal component is equal to the vertical component. The horizontal component is given by r cos delta and the vertical component is given by r sin delta, where r is the resultant Earth's magnetic field at a place. So from here, sin delta upon cos delta is 1. That is tan delta is equal to 1. Or we may say that the angle of dip delta is equal to 45 degrees. Question number 6. The horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field is 0.2 Gauss and the total magnetic field is 0.4 Gauss. We have to find out the angle of dip. We know that horizontal component is r cos delta, where delta is the angle of dip. Given here that h is 0.2 Gauss and r is 0.4 Gauss. So cos delta is equal to half. That is, the angle of dip is equal to 60 degrees. Question number 7. A magnetic dipole is under the influence of two magnetic fields. The angle between the field direction is 60 degrees and one of the fields has a magnitude 1.2 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 Tesla. If the dipole comes to stable equilibrium at an angle of 15 degrees with this field, what is the magnitude of the other field? The value of sin 15 is given over here. Given that the two fields B1 and B2 are inclined at an angle of 60 degrees with each other. Now a dipole is placed under the influence of these two fields and it comes in equilibrium by making an angle 15 degrees with one of the field. Let it comes to rest at 15 degrees with B1, where B1 has a magnitude 1.2 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 Tesla. So the angle made by the dipole with B2 will be equal to 45 degrees. Okay, now we know that any dipole, when it is placed in magnetic field, it experiences a tau. Now this dipole comes in equilibrium, that is the tau experienced by this dipole in magnetic field B1 will be equal to tau experienced by this dipole in the magnetic field B2, that is tau 1 is equal to tau 2. And we know that the torque is given by m B1 sin theta 1 equals to m B2 sin theta 2. Okay, as the dipole is the same, so its magnetic dipole moment is also same. it cancels out. B1 given over here is 1.2 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 Tesla, and sine theta 1 is sine 15 degrees. B2 has to be determined, and sine theta 2 is sine 45 degrees. So on simplifying, we get B2 to be 4.4 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 Tesla. Question number 8. A Roland ring of mean radius 15 centimeter has 3500 turns of a wire wound on a ferromagnetic core of relative permeability 800. What is the magnetic field in the core for a magnetizing current of 1.2 ampere? We know that the magnetic field inside the core of a toroid is given as mu naught n into I, where n is the number of turns per unit length. But here given in the question that in the core there is a ferromagnetic material whose relative permeability is 800. So now the magnetic field inside the core of the toroid will be given as mu naught into mu r, the relative permeability, into the number of turns per unit length into I. Okay, now here the length will be equal to 2 pi r, as it is the Roland ring, and the total length will be equal to 2 pi r. So substituting the values, we get the answer 4.48 Tesla. So inside the Roland ring, the magnetic field will be 4.48 Tesla. Question number 9 is a uniform magnetic field gets modified in X and Y as shown in the figure. Identify the specimens X and Y. Here we see that the magnetic field lines are repelled by X. So X is a diamagnetic material, whereas the magnetic field lines are attracted by this specimen Y. So Y is a paramagnetic substance. So as few magnetic field lines are attracted by this Y specimen, so it is a paramagnetic substance. State the reason for the behavior of the field lines. Okay, as the diamagnetic substance is repelled by a magnet, so the magnetic field lines are repelled by this diamagnetic substance, and the paramagnetic substance is feebly attracted by a magnet, so the magnetic field lines are also attracted by the paramagnetic substance. Question number 10 is the vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field at a place is √3 times its horizontal component. So given here that V is equal to √3 times the horizontal component, and you have to find out the angle of dip. We know that vertical component is given by r sine delta, and the horizontal component is given by r cos delta. So tan delta is equal to √3. Hence, the angle of dip is equal to 60 degrees. Question number 11. An electron moves around the nucleus in an hydrogen atom of radius 0.51 angstrom, which we know is equal to 0.51 into 10 raised to the power minus 10 meters, with a velocity of 2 into 10 raised to the power 5 meter per second. Calculate the equivalent current due to the orbital motion of the electron. We know that I is equal to Q upon T, and the time is equal to distance upon speed 2 pi r upon V. So this is equal to Q into V upon 2 pi into R. So substituting the values, as it is the electron, Q is 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 19 coulomb. V is 2 into 10 raised to the power 5 meter per second upon 2 pi into 0.51 into 10 raised to the power minus 10 meter. On simplifying it, we get the answer to be 9.99 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 ampere. The second part is the magnetic field at the center of the nucleus. Okay, as it is the electron revolving around the nucleus, so it can be considered as a current carrying coil because the direction of the conventional current will be opposite to the flow of the electron, so it can be considered as a current carrying coil. And we know that the magnetic field at the center of a circular current carrying coil is mu naught I upon 2R. So on substituting the values and simplifying it, 123.01 Tesla. The third part is the magnetic moment associated with the electron. We know that the magnetic moment is given by I into A. I is 9.99 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 ampere, and the cross-sectional area is pi r square, where r is 0.51 into 10 raised to the power minus 10 whole square. On simplifying it, we get the answer to be 8.1 into 10 raised to the power minus 23 ampere meter square. Question number 12. Intensity of magnetization versus the magnetic field intensity for two magnetic materials is as shown. Identify the materials A and B. We know that the ratio of intensity of magnetization to the magnetizing field is the susceptibility. And the susceptibility for a diamagnetic substance is small negative value. Okay, and here the susceptibility is positive for both these substances, so it is not a diamagnetic material. Okay, now the susceptibility for a paramagnetic substance is low, whereas for a ferromagnetic substance is very, very high. So as the slope of B is more, the slope is here is giving the susceptibility. So B here is a ferromagnetic material, whereas A is a paramagnetic material. For A, plot the variation of the intensity of magnetization versus temperature. So let us take temperature along x-axis and the intensity of magnetization along y-axis. Okay, now we know that for a paramagnetic substance, the intensity of magnetization is inversely proportional to absolute temperature. So the graph will be a curved line as shown. Question number 13. Where on the surface of the earth is the vertical component of the earth's magnetic field 0? We know that the vertical component is given by r sine delta, and the angle of dip at equators is equal to 0 degrees. So V is equal to r sine 0, and hence the vertical component is 0. So at equator, the vertical component is 0 because the angle of dip is equal to 0 degree. Question number 14. A circular coil of n turns and radius r carries a current I. It is unwound and rewound to make another coil of radius r by 2, current I remaining the same. Calculate the ratio of the magnetic moments of the new coil and the original coil. We know that the magnetic moment is given by NIA, that is the number of turns into the current into the area of the coil. So for the original coil, the number of turns given are N, current is I, and the area is pi r square. So radius given here is I. So this is for the original coil. Okay, then it is unwound and again rewounded to make a new coil. Okay, now here the number of turns will become 2n. Why? Because the length of the coil is same. Now as the radius is made half, so the number of turns will be doubled. I, and the radius is given as r by 2. So this is equal to 2ni pi r square upon 4. Now here you have to find out the ratio of the new coil to the original coil. So let's divide these two equations. So the ratio is 1:2. Write two properties of a material suitable for making a permanent magnet and an electromagnet. For a permanent magnet, it should have high retentivity, high corrosivity, and high permeability. So for making permanent magnet, the material which is chosen should have high retentivity, high corrosivity, and high permeability. Whereas for making an electromagnet, it should have low retentivity, low corrosivity, and high permeability. So these should be the characteristics of the material for choosing an electromagnet: low retentivity, low corrosivity, and high permeability. Question number 16 is, an iron ring of relative permeability mu r has windings of insulated copper wire of n turns per meter. When the current in the windings is I, find the expression for the magnetic field in the ring. Okay, so this is a toroid, and we have already found out the expression of the magnetic field inside the core of the toroid. So you can refer the previous videos where we have found out. Okay, and the expression of the magnetic field inside the core of the toroid is mu naught n into I. Now here material is inside the core, so the permeability will be the permeability of that medium, which is mu naught into mu r, where this small n is the number of turns per unit length. Okay, and the length of the Amperian loop which we have considered will be 2 pi r. So this is the expression for the magnetic field inside the core of a toroid. B part is, the susceptibility of a magnetic material is 0.9853. Identify the type of the magnetic material. Okay, as the susceptibility is small positive value, so the material is paramagnetic material. Draw the modification of the field pattern on keeping a piece of this material in uniform magnetic field. We know that a paramagnetic substance is feebly attracted by a magnet. So when it is placed in uniform magnetic field, some of the magnetic field lines will prefer to pass through the specimen. So as it is weakly attracted by the magnet, so some of the magnetic field lines will pass through the specimen. Question number 17. A bar magnet of magnetic moment 6 joule per Tesla is aligned at 60 degree with external magnetic field of 0.44 Tesla. Calculate the work done in turning the magnet to align its magnetic moment normal to the magnetic field. So initially it is placed such that the magnetic dipole moment is making an angle 60 degree with the magnetic field. Okay, now the work done in rotating through 90 degree, that is theta 2 here is equal to 90 degree, and we know that the expression of the work done is given by mb cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2, which is stored in the form of potential energy. Now substituting the values, m here is 6, magnetic field is 0.44 Tesla, cos 60 minus cos 90. The value of cos 60 is half and cos 90 is 0. So on simplifying it, you get the answer to be 1.32 joules. Whereas in the second part, it has to be rotated from 60 degree to 180 degree. Opposite to the magnetic field means theta 2 here given here is 180 degree. Using the same expression for the work done, mb cos theta 1, here theta 1 is equal to 60 degree and theta 2 here is equal to 180 degree. Substituting the values and simplifying, we get the answer to be 3.96 joules. The B part is, the torque on the magnet in the final orientation in case 2. Okay, the final orientation in case 2, that is theta is equal to 180 degree. And we know that a bar magnet, which is a magnetic dipole placed in uniform magnetic field, experiences a tau which is given by mb Sine theta. As theta is 180 degree and we know that sine 180 degree is equal to 0. So hence the tau experienced is also equal to 0. Question number 18. Prove that the magnetic moment of the electron revolving around the nucleus in an orbit of radius r with orbital velocity is equal to EVR upon 2. This we have already derived in the previous videos, so you can refer from there. The magnetic moment for an electron which is revolving around the nucleus is given by EVR upon 2. Now, using Bohr's postulate of quantization of angular momentum, deduce the expression for the magnetic moment of hydrogen atom in the ground state. This also we have derived it along with this. Okay, now let's do it once again. We know that according to Bohr's theory, the angular momentum of an electron should be equal to integral multiple of h by 2 pi. Okay, for an electron which is revolving in stationary orbit. So from here, V into R is equal to NH upon 2 pi m. So substituting it here, we get the magnetic moment to be E NH upon 4 pi m. Okay, we have substituted V into R in this expression. So the magnetic moment is N times EH upon 4 pi m. Now for an hydrogen atom in the ground state, N is equal to 1. So M is equal to EH upon 4 pi m. And its value is constant and which is called as the Bohr magneton. So the magnetic dipole moment is equal to N into mu B. Okay, where mu B is EH upon 4 pi m and is called as the Bohr magneton. And hence the magnetic dipole moment here is equal to the Bohr magneton because N is equal to 1. Question number 19. The magnetic susceptibility of a magnetism at 300 Kelvin is 1.2 into 10 raised to the power 5. At what temperature will its magnetic susceptibility become 1.44 into 10 raised to the power 5? We know that the magnetic susceptibility is inversely proportional to absolute temperature. So in the first case, 1.2 into 10 raised to the power 5 is inversely proportional to 300 Kelvin. Whereas in the second case, 1.44 into 10 raised to the power 5 is inversely proportional to the absolute temperature which has to be determined. So on dividing these two equations, we get 1.2 into 10 raised to the power 5 upon 1.44 into 10 raised to the power 5 is equal to 1 upon 300 upon 1 upon T. That is T is equal to 1.2 into 10 raised to the power 5 upon 1.44 into 10 raised to the power 5 into 300. So on simplifying it, we get the temperature to be 250 Kelvin. So at 250 Kelvin, the magnetic susceptibility will be 1.44 into 10 raised to the power 5. Question number 20th. The magnetic susceptibility of a given material is minus 0.5. Identify the magnetic material. As the susceptibility is small negative value, so the substance is diamagnetic substance. We know that the susceptibility for a diamagnetic substance is small negative. These are few objective questions which have come in 2020. So let's discuss these questions also. Question number 21. The magnetic dipole moment of a current carrying coil does not depend upon. We know that the magnetic moment for a current carrying coil is given by NIA, where N is the total number of turns of the coil, I is the current, and A is the area. Now the first part is the number of turns in the coil. Yes, it depends upon the number of turns. Cross-sectional area. Yes, it depends upon cross-sectional area also. It depends on current also. It does not depend upon the material of the turns in the coil. So the correct option is the material of the turns of the coil. Question number 22. The magnetic field and the angle of dip at a place on the earth is 0.3 cos and 30 degree respectively. The value of the vertical component of the earth's magnetic field at that place, we know that the vertical component is given by resultant earth's magnetic field at that place into sine of angle of dip. Now here it is given that r is equal to 0.3 cos and the angle of dip is 30 degree. So 0.3 into half, which is equal to 0.15 cos. So the answer is 0.15 cos. Question number 23. The magnetic field lines are repelled by a diamagnetic substance, whereas the magnetic field lines are feebly attracted or weakly attracted by a paramagnetic substance. So we have completed this part. Also, you have to do the NCERT exercise questions. Now the next chapters will be put up very shortly. So in order to watch that, kindly subscribe to the channel and keep watching. Thank you.